my friends. Today is Monday, May 18th, 2020, and welcome to Motivational Monday. My name is Lisa McCrary, also known as Trainer Lisa, and I am so excited and so very happy to be here with you guys today. Because this is my very first Motivational Monday with you guys, I sort of feel obligated to tell you a little bit about myself and who I am. So at least we're no longer strangers going forward, because you are going to be hearing my voice in the near future. So, with that said, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My career in sales started back about 23 years ago. I was about 12 years old when I got started, very young. That's what I like to tell myself. So for me, that works. Hopefully, you believe it. My professional background includes financial planning, investment banking, insurance sales, and I also have a couple of years in group insurance sales. I've been a consultant to individuals, professionals, doctors, lawyers, businesses of various sizes, mom and pop businesses, up to probably about 400 employees. So I've done a lot in my career, have been very blessed to do a lot in my career. I graduated from Michigan State University, so I am a very proud MSU Spartan. I have a beautiful husband as well as three wonderful adult children. No grandbabies yet, but I'm hoping for those soon. I have a boxer and a very, very grumpy Maltipoo. She's also known as our diva dog. On other days, she's known as our devil dog. Just depends on the day. So that's a little bit about me. One of my passions that I have is helping people with things that weigh heavily on their mind, such as health insurance. It's really what brought me into this industry and is what really kept me into this industry all this time. I'm sure many of you can relate that it's nothing really more satisfying than knowing that your recommendations are having a positive effect on someone else's life. And the nice thing about all of this is we actually get paid for doing that. So that is a little bit about me. Don't want to spend too much time doing that because we got a lot on the agenda today. But the nice thing is that we're no longer strangers. And when you hear Trainer Lisa on the line, you would know exactly who I am and a little bit about me. So I'm really happy about that. So let's go ahead and get started with why we are here, and that is our sales meeting for the week. And as always, we start off with our quote for the week. And our quote this time comes to us from our 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. And Theodore Roosevelt once said, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." I really like this quote. When working with our prospects, we must remember that they are real people just like us with real issues, with real needs. And a lot of times, with all the hustle and bustle of what we have to do to be successful in our jobs, that is easily forgotten. This insurance stuff that we do is really confusing. I've had my license since 1999, and really, some of the stuff is still really confusing at times. So I can only imagine what it must be like for our prospects when we have to explain all of this information to them to help them make major decisions about maintaining their family's healthcare insurance. When selling insurance, whether we're doing it with an individual or a business, if you truly want to get someone's attention, show them that you care, listen to their needs, and then help find a solution for them. So that's our quote for the week with a little bit of thought behind that for me. Again, guys, welcome to Motivational Monday. And as always, we're going to start off with our tips for the week. Then we're going to go out to our sales shout outs, which I absolutely love. I love reward and recognition. I think that's the cheerleader inside of me. And then we're going to go into our sales topic for the week. And this week, our sales topic is going to be on presenting versus creating an experience. And sometimes I'm going to go back to that. A lot of times when it comes to that particular topic, people are scratching their head and saying, you know, what are we talking about? Presenting versus creating an experience. There really is a difference. And hopefully by the end of this, you'll see what the difference is and how you can make a difference in helping your clients by just creating that wonderful experience for them, a selling experience, but a wonderful experience for them. So let's turn to our tips for the week. And the first one is actually coming from United Healthcare. United Healthcare is asking all of its agents to re-sign their contracts within their new contracting system. So many of you are going to be getting an email from United Healthcare. Don't consider that as spam. It is not. It is something that needs to be done. Look for that email, and then when you get it, make sure you're completing the necessary information so that you can get your contracts updated in their new contracting system. Next up is National General's Health Access Fixed Indemnity Plan. Now, it's now available, it looks like, in Tennessee. I do want to say that this plan, since the rollout of this plan, it has just been doing phenomenal. For those of you who have not heard of this plan or haven't sold it, I really encourage you to go out to NatGen's website and learn a little bit more about this fixed indemnity plan. The features and benefits that are included in this plan is just outstanding. So, so that you know, for those of you that are selling in Tennessee, this is now available in Tennessee. And as of May 8th, it's also being introduced in Colorado as well as Delaware. With those two states, it will be replacing the Foundation Health and the Foundation Health Enhance within these states. But as always, I tell everyone, no matter what state you are looking at, make sure that you're always looking at National General State Availability Map, so that you can know exactly what is available in your particular state. So next up, it looks like something is exciting happening in Arizona. Effective June 6th, National General will be offering a new network in Arizona, particularly in the Phoenix area. This new network is called Local Plus, and the main reason for adding this new network is because it's going to provide deeper network discounts for those areas. So if you are someone who sells in the Phoenix area, you might want to mark your calendars that on June 6th, this new network will be available with National General short-term medical plan. So, and again, that is with the short-term medical plan. So make sure you look out for that. Now, this is where my other passion is. Helping people is one of my passions, but also training and learning is another one of our passions. And National General is having a webinar where they're going to be reviewing 3 of their top money maker ancillary products. We're talking about the accident fixed benefit product, as well as the plan enhancer, which is that accident medical expense plan. And then they're also going to be talking about and just giving some great tips and benefits on the TrioMed plan. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the TrioMed plan, I really like this plan, especially for those people who are just starting out with selling health insurance, because I call this our combination product because it has features in there that covers A&E insurance, as well as critical illness, as well as accidental death and dismemberment benefits. So it's one of those all-in-one type of things. And if you get your clients set up with this, you can feel really confident in knowing that they have a really comprehensive plan that's going to help there, whether it's a major medical ACA plan, or if it is a short-term medical plan that you're pairing this with. This training is going to be held on Tuesday, this Tuesday, May 19th, and it's at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, and trainer Loren is going to be conducting this training. So look for Loren to give you guys some great information on these great money makers. Next up is Trainer Dave is going to be conducting a webinar where he will be reviewing CMS's Medicare compliance rules and regs so that we can all pass those secret shops. We know that they're out there. If you're someone who's selling Medicare, it's very important. And there's so many rules and regs when it comes to Medicare sales, and it's really important to know what those rules and regs are. And Trainer Dave is going to be going over that, and that's going to be this Wednesday, May 20th at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time and then 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. Now, for both of these trainings, you are able to reserve your spot now. You should have received an email that invited you to this training. So please make sure you're looking for that. Okay, here's some, this is one of my favorite parts as well. Let's see who made our leadership board for the week of May 11th, 2020. With our carriers, it looks like Golden Rule had a really good week. Short-term plans, critical illness, and dental plan. Golden Rule sort of was ahead of the pack. Their Golden's Rules Health Protector Guard Limited medical plan was one of the more popular no deductible plans that were sold during the week of May 11th. And National General is pretty consistent in this category. They led the way when it came to their accident plans, and they're pretty consistent with that. They have a lot of great plans, but their accident plans seem to be really, really popular. And a lot of our clients, as well as our agents, like selling those plans. Now we get to talk about you guys. Next up are superstars for the week, the folks that are making it happen and selling things to our clients to help make their lives better. So when it comes to short-term medical plans, and I got to mention that I see one person's name 3 times here, so I want to congratulate Timothy Brown right up front, because it looks like, you know, you are definitely doing your package selling and bundle billing and making sure that you are being very comprehensive in the plans that you sell. So congratulations to you on that, and I do want to give you that reward and recognition at this time. But our leaders in selling short-term medical, first up with the most sales is Arthur Walsh, and then we have Quadell Spradley, and then Timothy Brown. Our limited medical plans, we have Timothy Brown and Sarah Fry. And Sarah Fry is on here twice as well. We're looking at, with our accident plans, we have Timothy Brown and Sarah Fry. So I just want to congratulate all of our agents out there for all the hard work. But I want to especially congratulate these folks who are getting rewarded and recognized for just being the top in what they're doing. So good job, guys, and congratulations, and definitely keep up the good work. So now that brings us to where we are now, which is what I love, which is talking about our sales topic for the week, which is presenting versus creating an experience. So it's like, Lisa, what the heck are you talking about here? So let's face it, anyone can present a product or a service, anyone. But can you create an experience that will connect with the client and make them want to tell someone else or everybody else about the things you've done for them? I'm not talking about any kind of experience. I'm deep diving. I'm talking about a real deep connection with your clients. And I'm talking about going for that wow factor. So I want you guys to ask yourself, do you want your clients to remember you after your proposal? It's really important that they do, because that's what's going to make them come back to you. Do you want them to trust your recommendations? Do you want your clients to depend on you year after year? I hope your answers are all yes, and I know that they are all yes. So I know I have the right group on the phone, so that, I'm sorry, on this call, not on the phone, but I have you guys, the right people on this call, so that we can make sure we can make that happen. But that takes something really special. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. Not only are we going to talk about the preliminary work that needs to happen in order to wow our customers and create that wonderful experience, but we're also going to talk about the sales process. What type of questions do we need to make sure we're asking our clients in order to make sure we're getting thorough answers and helping them to see exactly what it is that we can do to help them, and maybe even uncover some of the things that they didn't even know was a problem. Creating an experience for your clients that they won't forget is really, really crucial. Not because you put, and really it's not because you're putting on some kind of dog and pony show for your client, or because you are this fast talker. It's mainly because we're talking about adding value to our clients. One crucial thing that must be established first in order to create that wow experience, you must have a strong basic knowledge of your craft. What do I mean by that? You must do your homework and learn all you can about your industry and the products that you sell. When you get a lead, this is another thing you want to consider. When you get a lead, you should review whatever data you have as pre-work to prepare for the call before you actually make the call. And a lot of times people say, Lisa, what are you talking about? We don't get very much information when we get a lead. Usually we're finding that out when we call. That's not necessarily true. Some leads come with the customer's age, the number in their household, their zip code. These are all things, preliminary things that you can do to look at and say, okay, I'm dealing with a family of 4. I'm dealing with living in a zip code of blah, blah, blah. And the ages that I'm looking at is XYZ. This is preliminary work that in your mind, you should already be formulating a thought of how I'm going to be able to help this client. As a sales agent myself, I always had 3 go-to packages, no matter what I was doing, ready to present to my clients at any given time. I called these 3 go-to package my good, better, best bundles, but I presented those bundles in the reverse order. Hope that makes sense. So I presented them in the best, better, good order. That's that top-down selling approach. And what I mean by top-down selling is I'm going to tell my client the very best that I have to offer. I'm not going to try and decide for my client based on the budget that they said that they have, because we know clients don't always tell the truth about their budget. I'm going to give them the very best, and then we're going to tweak and we're going to change things to fit exactly what their needs are going to be. But the one thing that I ask my clients always to do before we get started, I tell my clients, Mr. Client, I need you to do one very important thing for me. I need you to be able to tell me no. When I'm presenting my best, better, good scenarios or packages, I should say. I want you to be able to say, yes, that works. No, that doesn't work. Yes, I want more of that. No, I don't want more of that. If you don't tell your client that, a lot of times they will clam up and they just won't say anything. So now let's talk about what it takes to create a wow experience with your prospect. First of all, you have to be that expert by providing clarity. A good leader and a good salesman, they really don't seek to change people or convince them to buy. I know as a salesperson, that's something I never tried to do. It is my opinion the definition of a great sales leader is someone who helps people with clarity, clarity of their buying goals. What are they truly trying to accomplish? What are their pain points? What do they truly need? And what are they trying to gain? Clarity is something where you're helping others see their situation in a more fresh, revealing way to identify problems that they didn't realize they even had. And I can guarantee you the competition out there, the other agents out there aren't doing that. They're just selling. They're just presenting a product. We're not talking about just presenting. We're talking about creating an experience. Through clarity, you show your clients why purchasing the plan design that you've recommended, whether it's the best, the better, the good, whatever it is, will be the plan that's going to solve their problems. The next thing we want to do is become a trusted advisor to your clients. Now, we all have specialties. Some of us specialize in Medicare. Some of us like to do our major meds and do supplements along with the major meds. Some do short-term medical. Some do all three. We have all of that. But be a trusted advisor in whatever your specialty is. Be able to provide to your prospects accurate, insightful, and reliable answers to even the toughest questions. So, how do you do that? You guys know the answer to that. I don't need to tell you. Practice, 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 practice those scripts, practice your presentations, your voicemails. I know a lot of people are starting to get into video messaging with their clients. Practice, practice, practice. My husband used to laugh at me because I used to practice my scripts so much that I would practice them in my sleep. He would try and talk to me about the different things that I was saying in my sleep. But really, I was just going over my scripts to make sure I knew them inside and out. The next thing we want to talk about is let's try this again. Network with leaders in your field. Jim Ron, who is a professional development guru, and I'm sort of big on listening to people who are knowledgeable in the business. He once said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. To me, that's a little scary because I think about who am I spending my time with? For you, I challenge you. Who are you spending your time with? I know my sister used to tell me years ago, she's 16 years older than me. She used to say, Lisa, it's very important to surround yourself with people who are going to elevate you. If you want, and she was absolutely right, if you want to up your professional game, you want to surround yourself with people who will elevate you by spending time with people who themselves are experts in their field. Honestly, that will naturally just catch on and you will just gravitate to some of that wisdom that they have. So if you are not, look at who you are surrounding yourself with. Look at what you are listening to because that's going to make a big difference. So networking with those leaders in your field so that you can try and elevate your game. Mentor someone in your field. Sometimes the best way to learn is to teach. Next, we're going to talk about attunement. What do I mean by attunement? Put in really what attunement is put in simple terms. It's really about understanding another person's perspective. The first step is increasing your power by reducing it. Studies have shown that people who perceive themselves as with more power will be more likely to relate and take the perspective of the person they are meeting with. So, what does that mean? To reduce this tendency, you need to humble yourself, basically. You need to, in order to be that, it's okay to be that expert and to also humble yourself. But when you do humble yourself, you actually help the other person identify better with you. I challenge you to use your head as much as your heart. Show empathy. This helps you to relate to your clients and aid in building the relationship that your clients need. Create relationships of transparency, trust, mentorship, and full disclosure. Okay, guys, now we got the mushy stuff out of the way. This is what I call the mushy stuff, but these are the things that is really the groundwork in order to really create those meaningful, lastful, wow relationships. It's the preliminary steps we must take to prepare ourselves to be in the right frame of mind to be ready to wow our clients. So let's talk about selling now. When we talk about selling, one approach that I really like was created by Neil Rackham, and it was called the spin selling approach. It's based on 12 years of research and 35,000 sales calls. That's a lot of research. And really, what spin selling can really be described as a building value approach to selling. This technique is really based on asking really in specific questions to identify problems, needs, and then causing a little bit of tension by discussing the negative consequences that might occur if the problem is not fixed. And then the next step is you will come in and rescue the prospect by introducing your product, by neatly tailoring it to solve the exact problem that they just mentioned. This results in serving your client as a trusted advisor. Now, SPIN is an acronym for situation, problem, implication, and needs payoff. So with that said, we're going to go into each one of those areas. Situation. Situation is used when you use situation questions to gain contact into the prospect's needs and situations. So really what the situation questions are just basic questions to get to know your client's situation. So what do I mean by basic questions? They're questions you ask every single day. How many people will be on the plan? What are their ages? Do you currently have health insurance? Um, are you this is one that I really like. Would you be the only decision maker, or is there someone else we need to consider on this policy to be a decision maker? I always ask this question. And the reason why I ask this question is because I like to close sales as quickly as I possibly can. If I don't have the decision maker on the phone, on the line with me, then I'm not likely to close the sale. So it's really important to ask that specific question. Other situational questions can be, what prescription drugs are you on? Any smokers in the household? Do you have any pre-existing illnesses? What about the doctors that you like to go to see? Any particular doctor that you have to see or hospital that you have to see? These are all situational questions that are just going to give you the basic knowledge about what's going on. Then we're going to get into our problem questions. Our problem questions are our deep dive questions. These are the questions that we're going to ask to identify specific pain points or concerns that your client might have about their particular situation. So here are a few examples of our problem questions. Any changes in your financial situation this year? Want to know that. Anybody going to college this year? You know, that's going to be a big change in their financial situation. Will this plan need to accommodate any ongoing health conditions or injuries? If there's, I like, this is another one. I always save my last one for the one I like the most. If there's anything you could change about your current coverage, what would it be? And then with each one of these stages, you're just being quiet and you're letting them talk and you're letting them go through everything. So right now we're doing our deep dive. We're getting the situational questions together. We're understanding the problem a little bit because all of this is building on creating that wow effect because we're going to have that wow solution. Remember on this stage here, you have to refrain yourself from wanting to do your sales pitch at this point because once, as sales professionals, once we hear the problem, we want to jump right into the answer. So one of the things that I want to say to you guys and I want to challenge you guys with is avoid jumping right into your sales pitch at this particular time because we haven't finished with the discovery phase and helping them understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Next, we have that implication stage of spin selling. And implication questions encourage the prospect to internally acknowledge the consequences of the problem and search for that solution. So some implication questions would be, Mr. Client, how would your family be affected if you were diagnosed with cancer or had a heart attack? I want them to feel exactly because I'm going to sell them a critical illness plan, but I have to help them understand what is it going to feel like if they don't have it. If you were unable to work due to a major accident, how would your family afford to stay in your house or how would you afford to pay your bills? This is because I want to sell them an accident plan, but I got to help them see the implication of not having this plan. If you can save money on your monthly premium, what would that do to your budget? That one's a big one too. My last one, like I said, is always the one I like the most. Because if you tell me what's gonna happen and get me in the frame of thought of if I save money, what I can do with that extra money, I guarantee you I'm gonna think of things that I can do. Pay down some bills, pay bills off early, do special things for my family, take a trip. I'm going to do some great things. So this implication stage is really helping your clients to self-discover what would happen in the event that certain things were to happen with the situation that they're dealing with. Then the last step is our needs payoff. Needs payoff questions really encourage the prospect to explain to you the product benefits. So they start now selling to themselves in their very own words. This is like truly a great, powerful way of persuasion. So as it reads here, needs payoff questions are questions that ask how the problem can be solved, leading the prospect to ask for a product before leading the prospect to ask for the product before it's even offered. So how does that sound? That sounds like, Mr. Client, if we can reduce your current costs on your major medical plan, will that make room for an accident plan for you and your family? So remember, I've already planted the seed. Now I'm going to talk about the needs payoff. What's going to happen if I'm able to save you money? Can we get you that accident plan? If I can reduce your coinsurance so that once your deductible is paid, I'm talking about 100% coinsurance here, how would that help your situation? How would it help if you could have $75,000 critical illness plan coverage if you were diagnosed with cancer? Now I'm helping them to tell me, because they're going to answer these questions and they're going to tell you. So now I want to hear what they have to say. And at this point, you're no longer selling, they're selling themselves. All you have to do is ask for the business. Finalizing the presentation to close the deal. Avoid being the Me Too agent. So one of the things, this is easy to understand and self-explanatory. Avoid saying what I can do. I can do that too. You know, I'm that person, I'm that insurance agent too. You want to make yourself seem unique. And how does that sound? Mr. Customer, Mr. Prospect, if I'm able to get you a policy for you and your family that will have an affordable deductible, 100% coinsurance, $40 copay on doctor visits with affordable protection for those big what if situations like cancer, heart attack, sickness, or accidents, do you feel that you will be providing the protection to you and your family that is needed? Then I pause and I wait and see what they say. In this approach, you've just wowed your prospect. You didn't just present a product. You didn't just present a short-term medical or a major medical. You just showed them and took them on a journey of where they are and where they could be. I hope you guys enjoyed that training. I hope it made sense. It was some information that some of you may have heard before, or some of you may not have heard before. But spin selling to me is a great way to help our clients self-discover their needs, as well as help you sell it a lot easier because you're helping them sell themselves, really. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I am so glad you guys were with me today, and this has been a lot of fun. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, we're here for you. The training team is here for you. You only need to email us at training@ahcpsales.com, or you can call the agency service line at 877 228 8773. You guys have a wonderful and blessed week, and we'll see you next time.